Is Tony Jones going to win you week 12? We'll tell you right now on Fantasy Football Today in 5. Well, we can't really tell you. We don't know, but it's a possibility, right? We'll go through the latest news and notes here and talk about some players' rest of season. I'm Adam Azer with Dave Richard, and we can start there. Alvin Kamara not practicing. Mark Ingram's got a knee issue. He's not practicing. Should Tony Jones, if people are still running waivers, should he be the number one priority, maybe other than Elijah Mitchell, but at least number one running back?
Well, I think he should be up there without question. And you could always grab him while you can. And then if it comes past on Wednesday that Kamara or Ingram ends up practicing and they end up being fine for the game, then you just drop Tony Jones and there will be somebody else on the waiver wire. But I remember him being a running back that stood out to me during the preseason as a guy who was making plays both in the run game and the pass game. We know that the interior of that offensive line for New Orleans is healthy. Having an opportunity to run behind those three guys in the middle, not necessarily a bad thing against Buffalo that just got steamrolled by Jonathan Taylor. And I know Tony Jones is no Jonathan Taylor, but it's still an opportunity for him on a short week, and he'll have fresh legs. So I don't necessarily mind the idea of kind of doing the whole squatters' rights thing on Tony Jones and seeing what happens.
What do you think about the Titans' backfield now as they have released Adrian Peterson?
I think they saw what we saw, which is an over-the-hill running back that can't get the job done anymore, especially compared to other guys that I think we look at as just guys. They're not necessarily special talents. Dontrell Hilliard did play okay, at least early on for Tennessee, and he could end up taking over as the passing downs back for Jeremy McNichols. We don't know when McNichols will play. And I'm not sure if McNichols is going to be able to retain that full-time passing downs role. I thought Hilliard was fairly impressive. He did make some mistakes, which gives me flashbacks to Tyson Williams earlier in this season because he started making some mistakes and then he ended up being benched and now he's an afterthought. But Hilliard can also work on running downs. His first three runs, each one went for at least 7 yards on the ground. 2 of them went for more than 10 yards, but it was against Houston. So what's real and what's not? I think that Hilliard will have a role in the offense. Could be rushing downs, could be passing downs. I don't think Foreman's going anywhere either.
But is he a big winner
when he's healthy? Hold on. And when McNichols, when he's healthy, could just make things even worse as a three-headed monster. Throw on top of that they're playing the Patriots, and then they have a bye. And I think that this is going to be like a week of discovery for the Titans coaching staff to see what they have at running back, and then they formulate a plan during the bye week and move forward. Hopefully we'll be able to see what they see on film and make a pretty educated guess on what they'll do. I wouldn't get committed long-term to any Titans running back.
All right, because my thought was this really helps Deontay Foreman. Probably makes him the goal line back and gives him a few more carries a game.
I'm not sure if he's going to actually end up in that role, and I'm not sure if that role doesn't belong to Ryan Tannehill.
Okay, so other news here. Zach Wilson's going to start at quarterback. Does that crush Elijah Moore?
It doesn't crush Elijah Moore. I would expect Elijah Moore to play more than he did with Zach Wilson when Zach Wilson first started. They did not mesh well together early on. The catch rate was right around 41%. They averaged less than 10 yards per catch between the two of them. No touchdowns between the two of them. I know Moore is going to continue to play. It's not like he's going to end up going into some part-time role just because Zach Wilson's back. But Zach Wilson early on this year, you'll remember this, he was relying on Corey Davis. He was the guy that he would throw to anytime that he was in a pinch. And I don't know if he's as good of a quality passer at this point as Joe Flacco. And I know that sentence sounds silly. Wilson was the number 2 overall pick in the draft, but we've got a month's worth of film that back it up. He's not exactly Mr. Accuracy, at least early on. All that being said, it's a nice matchup against Houston. I think Moore is a good flex. I think Corey Davis is a good low-end flex too. But I started this week with Elijah Moore as a top 20 fantasy receiver. That's out the window.
Okay. And I think it's bad for Ty Johnson too, because, if it's not Mike White, it's not a ton of targets for.
No, I think Tevin Coleman is actually the guy you really want.
All right, Dave.
I thought about it.
How you feeling about, oh, really? See, I would feel that way if not for the matchups that they have, because they just have a very unfavorable running schedule.
Not this week.
No, not this week.
But I'm just thinking about this week. When it comes to the Jets, we're on a week-by-week basis.
Fair enough. Okay. We're pretty much out of time. Give me quick thoughts on Russell Wilson. Does he turn it around this week against Washington?
I want him to complete more passes, show more accuracy. This is a Washington defense that seems to be playing better without their best defensive players. It's weird. I am not ready to trust Russell Wilson.
All right. I'm ready to trust Dave Richard, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today in 5.